Going, working. I've got my catchphrase then. Okay, back again. What is it? Wednesday, so this is video number 3. What am I doing? Well, I'm working on this epoxy car again, needless to say. And we've got our pew-pew going, so you don't have to live through that experience of me excitingly putting in the blimmin' date and so on. It's a little bit blowy outside. Nice. I like blowy weather. And yeah, so I'm going to jump on the car, in the car even, and I'm going to see, I'm just going to do a little experiment where I crank it over, turn the gas on and off. So if it's super rich and it's flooding, that might give it a chance to fire up. Let's see what happens. Let's put on the charger. Well, that idea seemed to work, astonishingly, but it sounds like we've got a humongous exhaust leak at the front here, which is a bit of a pain in the booty. Let's have a bit more light. Well, that was exciting. It looks like that whole system is running much too rich, and just flicking on the oh, let's get some light. Oh. That was my 5-gallon oil drug, just rocketed off up the garden at 9 million miles per hour. Yes. So it looked like that idea of just flicking on the gas worked. At least it fired up. Running poorly though. And we have a wee looky. That's good, that's all within 10 of each other. This one on the other hand, that's not firing, that's not firing, that one's firing, that one's firing-ish. Yep, so this front engine, not so good, and that was with me revving it up, so it's not just the butterflies are shut on synchronization type problem. So let's have a look at those two plugs. 1 und 2. See what they've got to tell me. Let's put you back on the doofy. Burping up my custard creams. Like a burpy burper. There we go. Looks a bit oily. It's not sooted up. Top of the plug is not dripping in oil. Top of the piston is not dripping in oil, so that's nice. I wonder if those two plugs are just dead. They're a bit gleamy. I wonder if they've shuffled off their mortal coil. Let's try putting in some different ones. Back after I've done that. Found some clean looking little Fiat plugs. Should be a similar heat range. Let's pop those bad boys in there and see if that makes a difference. Phew! Hot day. It always gets very toasty in here when I've been running the car for a bit. So, the news is this. Panning, panning, slow panning. Okay, so what I've deduced is this front distributor, the vacuum canister, which is this thing, which gets a signal from the engine when the engine's at high vacuum and advances the timing by pulling this little arm here that way, is chucking in way too much advance. It's, if you've got it set at 13 degrees static, with that vacuum working at tick over, it's got 41 degrees. Oh, I can see myself up. Yeah, it's got 41 degrees. So that ain't no good. That's way too much advance, and that's probably why it's running a bit rough. So I've got to find myself another vacuum canister. Oh, are we on Zoom? No. Got to find myself another vacuum canister and adapt it in there, which has got a lot less movement. And a lot less movement means I'll have a much more appropriate timing. The sort of timing I'm looking for is 13:26, probably about 25 degrees at tick over. That's what I've got on the back one, and it's much smoother. So that's interesting. I worked that out by doing all the ignition timing with the strobe. And yeah, so bit of work to do on the distributor there. And I'm waiting for it to cool down. Phew, I'm dizzy from the blooming heat in here. I'm waiting for it to cool down, and once it's cooled down, epoxy thing, I can see it sitting there sniggering at me. Once it's cooled down, I can hoik off the exhaust manifold again and goop some exhaust paste on there to seal that up. But as far as the exhaust extraction system is working, that's what can only be described as a huge success. With those blocks, with those exhaust manifold leaks blocked up, I reckon that's going to be pretty much sewing machine quiet. So joyousness. Boy, oh boy, I've got a bit of a dehydraty, welty head now, because I've had that running for a good half hour to an hour, doing the timing and stuff like that. But another good thing is the fans, my two little Metro radiators, snugged down in there. You can just see the top of one of them there, and it goes off down, and then I made these fan shrouds, which you'll know if you follow the thread, but those just work brilliantly. In fact, it cooled it down from 10 psi in the radiator down to, well, I'm at 5 now, so, or just under 5, sorry, it's over 5, 6 psi. God, too much fumes, too much heat. So I'm still not particularly happy with the way those metal cylinders are running. However, I think that they're going to be down to possibly the engine is sucking the butterflies shut on the throttle bodies. So it's smooth when I'm driving along because they're open and it's not got so much force on the butterfly blade. But now, with it ticking over and they're only open about, you know, half a mil, there's enough vacuum, because of course those throttle butterflies were originally intended for a 600cc motorbike, and here they've got 600 and whatever it is cc per cylinder on each throttle body, and I think they're sucking themselves shut. That doesn't sound right either. So it may be that, unless I put whopping great big springs in there, ooh, dizzy again, sit down. Unless I put great big springs in there, I'm going to have that problem. And I can live with it. As long as it runs well, you know, generally speaking. A little bit of rumbliness at tickover adds to the sort of, hey, it's a 1920s aeroplane engine type of a thing, which I'm all for. So thank goodness the cam timing was right. And yeah, the timing and the mixture were all over the place, so that was a lot of the problem. And the popping back was down to the leaks on the exhaust, which surprised me really, because it's a flat plate and you'd think that would just seal. Ooh, I look tired. And he rode up. I think I'm going to go in and have a drink and a chocky bicky, and then, what's the time? 3:54. And then, yeah, do half an hour whipping off the manifolds if they've got cold enough, which they will have done because that titanium cools down incredibly quickly. Right, ta-ta, back in a while. Where's the button? You can never find that button. That's what she said. A new game with Theo. Seems to have keyboard obsession. I mean, now he's going to kill my cursor. No, that's it, he's bored now. Well, here's an interesting thing. As everybody knows, I made some little nylon restrictor rings to go in the bell mouths to bring the reducers in sooner. I went from 32mm diameter down to 25. And if you'd like to have a wee looky, oh, it's a bit bright. You can just see that silver thing in the middle. What I made out of nylon, pushed it down there. Same there, same there, same there, same there, and so on. Let's look at the other engine for a minute. There's that one. That one's come out about 3 inches, I think, odd from where it should be, or 3 centimetres. That one's gone! Who stole my ring of nylonness? Oh, that could be why it's not running very well on that cylinder. That one's come out a little bit. That one's gawked out a little bit. I think those ones are roughly about where they should be, but yes, that's not right. My little nylon ring has flown off down the road somewhere, I'm guessing. So, new levels of incompetence being achieved as we speak. Gotta make up another one now. Actually, I might have a spare. It looks like they need locating a little bit more firmly with some screws. Ta-ta. Back again. I'm gonna do a quick disassemble of all these nuts and bolts and pull these off. So tomorrow I will goop them up and do them all back up again. Who have I forgotten? Nobody? There we go. Yep. That front one's definitely a smoker. I gotta go! Got to go! That's me done for today. Cheerio. See you tomorrow.